Alrighty, folks, it's been a minute since we were lucky enough to catch up with Omar as he is running and gunning all over the place. But you know what? He's actually in Hawaii, taking a little bit of time, but it is 6:30 a.m. there. The family is sleeping, and he's like, "Hey, Michael, let's catch up. Let's talk real estate. Let's talk Inland Empire. Let's talk flipping. Let's talk sitting equity." Omar, man, nice to see you. Thank you for reaching out. I assumed you were going to be sleeping as well, but I'm glad you're up and we can catch up.
Absolutely, man. I hit the gym at 3:30 this morning, well, Hawaii time, and
Damn,
which
nice.
is 6:30 California time, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Very,
yeah,
very cool.
got to get the morning routine done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Why don't we catch up on the market? What's going on in the Inland Empire? What's going on in Orange County? You cover both of those now. Why don't we start in the Empire? Is it slow? Has buyer demand disappeared? Price drops? What's going on?
No, actually, buyer demand is there. If you put the work in, thank you very much. If you put the work in, you're gonna find deals because there's so much inventory right now, and all these sellers are wanting buyers to come and make an offer. So
Right.
it's really just, I don't know, show up and show your clients, and this is on the buyer side, the retail side,
Sure.
and you'll get offers accepted. I mean, because I'm a seller, right?
Yeah.
So when we get all these offers coming in, it's like, yeah, an escrow, like I want the buyers to come in. So this is just me being one of the sellers. Imagine all the other people that are out there. So the
Yeah.
market's good.
Okay. Yeah. How is inventory? Are you sensing a lot of competition, or is there really a bifurcation? Right. There's the stuff that you're producing, which is clean, updated, move-in ready, and then
Yeah.
there's just kind of junk. Is that what's going on?
You know what's crazy is that as long as you stay within that median home price, anything above it or substantially above it just takes a little longer. You know, we have a really nice flip that we've done, and it's a, I don't know, 680, or it started out at 680, and now we're at 650 or 640. So we're
Mm,
definitely dropping it because interest rates aren't supporting that payment, right?
right.
And people are paying, or people are buying based on what their payment is. And there is junk sitting. There is the nice stuff that's moving that they don't have to do anything to. They move in, and family can start living. Just put furniture in. So
Yeah.
that stuff's moving. Um, that, and you know what? Like just being priced well, even on the higher end. Like the
Mm,
competition's so there's a lot of competition with nicer houses. And this is in our area.
mhm.
And some of the stuff sitting so you can get a good deal. Like if I was a buyer in that market,
Right.
I'd score a badass house.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really getting interesting across the country as we are definitely seeing luxury properties, take the median times two, whatever that is in your buy box. And there's a lot of stuff sitting. I talked to Adrian Hernandez, a buddy of yours and mine.
Yeah,
And I
for
think he
sure.
told me that over 2.5 million in Orange County, which is, 2x the median, they're
Yeah.
sitting like 300 days or something crazy.
They
It's like,
they are.
wow.
It depends on the pocket though.
Mm,
So with OC, it's all about the pocket. Like
okay.
there's other places, Mission Viejo, Aliso, they're a little more, like, I guess not even sought after, but it's just there.
Yeah.
And then there's other pockets like, Newport, Costa Mesa, specific neighborhoods in Costa Mesa are
Mm,
going crazy. They don't care. They'll
mm,
end up just making the offer. It's
wow.
different. And we'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about being a buyer in this market because you got Redfin saying there's more buyers than sellers. I've been calling 2025 the year of the investor. I've been
Yeah.
saying buyer market, not versus seller. So, I called that early. But if you're shopping around, right? You told us about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, that you are getting more hits off your marketing, right? Whether it be billboards or direct to seller. Are some sellers getting desperate yet, and you're getting great deals?
We are actually. We sent out a farm a couple weeks ago, just for multifamily, and I received 5 phone calls from
Mm,
multifamily. And out of the five, I've contracted one, and another one is being sent out today,
mm.
which is great because they're a quarter mil under value
Wow.
because they don't want to deal with increasing rents and et cetera. And they're not 7, 8, 9, 10 units. they're
Mm.
fourplex.
Oh, okay. So residential
But
financing.
still residential. I'm DSCRing them out, right? But
Right.
I'm bridge loaning them in, doing a couple 1031s, and this is kind of a segue, I guess, to
Yeah.
sitting equity that we could talk about.
Well, let's talk about it now. Yeah, there's one of the things that I've talked about. It was actually a big part of our journey where we sold houses and we went from 8 to 80. It sounds like you're doing something similar, right? Selling some houses and going into fourplexes. And if you
Yeah,
especially if you can create value by buying 250 grand under market, it's a great strategy.
100%. And I'll give you the example. I had a sitting property, which I spoke to you about, in Lake Havasu. And it
Hmm.
was one of our first investments out there back in 2018. So we bought it very well, and it appreciated. And the most I was getting at one point was about 2,800 bucks.
Mm,
And then that was solid for 2 years. Before that it was an Airbnb, but then after that, nothing happened.
mm,
$2,200 a month. And it's like, okay, paid off property, 2,200 bucks. I got about half a million, 600K sitting there. That equity isn't performing as well as it should. Granted,
right.
yes, it's cool. It's a paid off house. Oh yeah, I have a house to fall back on if anything ever happened.
Right.
But I'm like, no, I started thinking about it, and it sat for like 5 months, wasn't receiving any money. And I'm like, you know what? It was more of an emotional like hold, because my dad was there,
Mm-hmm.
our family time. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do it. So I ended up 1031 exchanging that one out of Havasu
Mm.
to another 7 unit place that I picked up, which is 130 bucks, 130K a door.
Oh, nice.
And it was a sevenplex. So now it's commercial, right?
Sure. Hmm.
And they're one ones. And honestly, it was on the market for a couple hours.
Mm.
Okay. I got the notification. I immediately called, and the agent represents me because I'm not representing myself. Even, I could have made 30 grand or something like that, right? On the deal, but I want the transaction.
Right.
Um, and I said, listen, you're gonna represent me. Get me the deal. They were asking 115. We came in at a mil. I came in at 900, and they said no, but they countered me at 1,050,000. I said no, a million. They said yes, and now we're getting a retrade at 950. Let's hope.
Mhm.
Um, and it's already set. And if we end up doing that, it's going to be a good, yeah, 128, 129,000 or something like that a door.
Wow.
And that sitting equity, that 490K that I received, putting it down 50% LTV,
Mm.
and my cash flow is going to be 3,800 a month
Nice.
on that sitting equity that didn't exist before. And now going to obviously do cost segregation, drop it on the
Yeah.
taxable income side. But then the best part is that I'm going to refinance out in 3 months,
Of
adjust the rent
course.
a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And suck out, I don't know, maybe 250, 300K in pure
Probably. Yeah.
cash.
Yep.
And now I'll be able to use that for other deals, that we could do, and I'll
Hmm.
still be able to cash flow more than if I would have kept the house in the first place.
Yeah. One of the things that's really interesting for folks to do is kind of figure out when it's time to get out of singles and go up. And it can be done very profitably. I'm frankly looking forward to doing that again. I've told people the last year I'm waiting for Class B and Class C to break. I think it's coming. And dude, I will sell
Explain that.
30.
Explain that real quick. Class B and Class C.
Yeah. So again, I've been calling multifamily pain for a while. Ken McElroy has been wonderful telling people that Class A is starting to retrade at
Okay.
25% discounts. Class B and
100%.
Class
Yep.
Yeah, Class B and Class C are still frozen. They're mispriced. Banks are extending and pretending. They can't do that forever. If Class A has a 25% discount, Class B and Class C should have at least 40 and quite
Oof.
possibly
Oof.
a 50% discount. So
So Class
if
B and C, 50%, bro?
certainly 40, certainly 40.
Okay.
And I will take all of my houses, clean them up, put them on the market for first time home buyers, and get on my merry way of 1031ing a 30 houses or whatever it is. I'm just making numbers up, but lots of houses. And yeah, I look forward to doing it again.
Now, question for you, Michael. This is a good topic. If you're taking this 30, or let's just call it a good solid 20, okay?
Sure. 20.
And you're gonna those 20 doors are now going to become 40, 50 units?
No, I would again. My ratio in 2020 or 2006 was 8 to 80, and I'm a better
Holy
investor
cow.
today. So
Okay.
I don't know why I couldn't do better than 10x.
Okay, so you're literally doing a 20 to 200.
At least.
Let's go. And then now, those are probably 3 or 4 like good properties, solid
Yeah,
properties, maybe
so
5.
I'll be targeting, just to clear it up, between 5 and 50 units. Right. I want to stay
Okay.
below. I don't want to compete with hedge funds and big boys.
No,
I want to buy from mom and pop landlords. So
100%.
typically
Yeah.
speaking, they're in the 5s to 20s, but I'll open it up to 5 to 50 is where I'll be hunting.
Okay, so 5 to 50s, you're taking 1 to 8, 1 to 12, 1
Exactly.
to whatever. Okay. And you're doing that multiple times over a course of what? Do you think 12 to 18 months?
So I did it. It took me 9 months to do 8. So again, if we use the example of 20, I would expect 18 months.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So then it means I'm on the on that right track with you there, with 1 to 7, with
Yeah,
another
great.
1 to 4. I
Yep.
kind of that one just kind of fell in my lap, but
No, I would take it. I mean, if a 4 again, I'm not tied to a 10x. I mean, if a 4 unit came in my lap that was the right deal, I would do it every time.
$250,000 under. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Right. If you're going to hand me 250 grand, it's not like I'm not going
gonna
to pick
take
it
it.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Like,
refinance out, and all right,
yeah,
let it do its thing.
yeah. So again, I think what's coming down the pipeline, especially the longer rates stay higher, right?
Right.
Higher for longer, no Fed rate cuts. Banks can't extend and pretend forever. And there's going to be some moment. I don't know if it's Q4. I don't know if it's Q2 next year. But at some point, banks are going to have to create forced sellers. And I want to be around to pick those up if I can.
See, and you know what? We can do a I think this is what's happening next is owner carry as well.
Absolutely.
Like
Get a
that
silent
there's gonna
second,
be
get
the
whatever.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's huge. And okay,
Yeah.
so now let me ask you this. At what debt do you want to bridge? Would you do a 7 to 8, maybe a 10% bridge just to get
I
the
don't
deal
I don't care.
repositioned and then
Dude,
start?
I don't care what the cost of capital is. As long as it cash flows day one, I don't care. Omar, if I had a magic wand, I would make interest rates 10%.
Mhm.
It just doesn't matter
We
to me.
would get so many more deals because everyone would be out.
Yeah, they'd be all done. And oh, by the way, the debt I currently have is fixed. So saying I have 10% interest rates today is only affecting my purchases. It doesn't affect any of my assets I currently own.
Correct.
So, yeah, I'm like, let's go to 10%. I mean, that's what people don't really get about this is dude, if make rates 15%.
You
Doesn't
know
matter.
how field day we would have making
Yeah.
all these creative offers? It'd be
Yeah, it would
insane.
exactly. And again, some people would say no, but enough people would say yes, and we would just go on our merry way. And most of the people out there would be so afraid they would do nothing. So we would have no demand, lots of supply, and
No
lots of
competition
motivated
either.
sell. Yeah, no competition. It'd be amazing. I look forward to it.
That'd be sick. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it'd be
So
pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's I mean, honestly, Michael, that's something that I'm following your lead on that. 8 to 80. Um, I'm gonna try to beat that
I
in
like
this
it.
next 18 months. Um,
I
I
like it.
gotta crawl right before I walk
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, it's
But
all good, man.
you know,
Yeah, I mean,
it,
even if you go from 8 to 60, it's still it's an amazing jump. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but the marker is there for
Yeah,
you that you've made. So
of course.
it's like
Let's
you
go.
kind of want to hit that goal, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. Yeah, if you shoot for the goal and you miss slightly, hey, you're still in the heavens. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's just the biggest thing. And now the cash flow is what I'm
Oh,
working on to
astronomical at that point. Yeah.
Cash flow, so you can live where you want to live, take your
Hmm.
vacations when you take them, and my renters will pay for my mortgages
Yeah. Well,
where I live
let's talk
now
about
in
Hawaii,
Chicago.
right? How how important it is for you to unplug and rejuvenate, take the family away, really enjoy life because you work so hard. How important it is for you to do this once in a while.
I'll tell you this, coming from someone who like grinds it out and works and travels and figures and doesn't, sometimes I wonder how the F I do it, right? Um, it This is cool because now I'm seeing the blessings that I'm able to create and give to the family.
Hmm.
And it's priceless. It really
Yeah.
is. And as much as, and I'll tell you a little funny story. Yesterday, my laptop fried. Okay.
Hmm.
I was on a Zoom yesterday, about to be on, and something happened to all the keys, and it was broken. Like I
Yep.
couldn't turn on my laptop, and so
Yeah.
I'm zooming on my phone, right,
Sure.
with the team and giving them motivation and stuff. So they all said, "Don't buy another laptop." I'm like, dude, how can you not? Like,
Yeah.
if it's a couple hours, fine. I ended up handling it right away
Yeah.
and bought another laptop here at Costco on the island. It took me about an hour there and back,
Yeah.
2,800 bucks later for a new MacBook. And now I'm talking to you on it, no problems. It's
Beautiful.
perfect. And the reason it's like, okay, because my family deserves it for me to
Yeah.
be on before they're up
Yep.
and to take care of the things they need to take care of so they can get rested. They can have,
Yeah.
I'm bringing
And
them
you could
some,
be present when they're awake.
100%. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Well,
So
Omar,
it's
you're
cool,
doing
man.
a lot of amazing stuff. Where can people follow along?
Guys, follow me on IG at Invest with Omar. Bunch of cool stuff's coming out. I mean, it always does. We try to be as consistent as possible. I'll be having a little day one, day two, day three, I guess vlog or whatever you want to call it here in Hawaii.
Nice.
Just the day to day. So
Yeah. There you
yeah,
go. All
definitely
right.
follow along.
All right, family. Have fun. Be safe. Keep enjoying life. Take care.
Appreciate it.